I'm doing all right.
Excuse me. All right. Well, this is a quick 10-minute video, just giving it a little bit of a test run. I guess this is a pilot episode, if you want to say, of all things Impact Wrestling, formerly known as TNA. I currently cannot watch the product because my cable provider does not have the show. So we will have the bizarre one, Dave, catch us up on TNA and what's going on in TNA, and a couple of things that he likes with TNA and a couple of things that he does not really care for right now in TNA. So how about you give us a little quick little review of what happened on Impact Wrestling this past Thursday?
Well, a lot of it's gonna be tough to tell people what's going on. So, I mean, we had the biggest news out of the last week was you had Sanjay Dutt for the first time ever win the X Division title. That's the biggest news coming out of that. They had some other. They have also James Storm and going to be doing a bull rope match at Slammiversary, so they're going back and forth.
And he's currently in a feud with EC3, correct?
Yes. Yeah, they're doing this. They're in India at the moment, which the shows have been pretty good in India, so they have been good. Even though people say that TNA has paid the fans there. But to be fair, I've been told, or what I've seen online, is that people for live studio shows with the fans there, they pay fans there. That's a normal thing in India.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah, so that's a fair point too, I guess. Don't want to just say like, oh, TNA just has to pay fans to cheer and boo. Right. I don't want to say that just to say like I'm bashing TNA, but I'm just putting that out there just to say like it's happened before. It's not the only time this has ever happened.
Sure, because there's the rumor going around that TNA paid India fans in India to appear at the Impact tapings. But you're just clarifying that India does this quite often and that it's just not a TNA thing or an Impact Wrestling thing, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other side story ends with Spud and Swoggle, aka Hornswoggle from WE. Yeah, there's some stuff like that. That's kind of more of an entertaining side of it a little bit. I enjoy it. I've always enjoyed. I know you were a fan of Spud too before, and I mean. Yeah, just him and Spud, I think, work really well together. It's entertaining, a more entertaining thing for the thing. But
okay, and then are they gonna have some sort of a match at Slammiversary?
I'm not sure if they are or not. I assume they are. They keep building they haven't announced it that I know of. It could be the card. I'm not sure. I know what some of the card is. I guess it doesn't really matter if you spoil it or not. But I mean, because it's gonna get announced next week or the week after, so.
Well, we're pretty much fair. Not all the matches have been booked, obviously, or announced. They have. I mean, some of them have been. But like you said, the EC3 versus James Storm, the bull rope match. We have the world title. Is the world title match? Is it going to be turning into one title?
Yeah, they have all the title matches on the show that I've looked at the card that was on the website, and it has which is stupid because if you go to the Fight app and you look for the card, they have the listed card on there, even though it's not even been announced on TV yet.
Okay, so the
cards listed up there, what's on the matches are on there. Impact. They have all the title matches listed as unification matches.
No shit. Okay, so pretty much they're gonna be. Why doesn't? My question is. Jeff Jarrett should just change the damn name to Global Force Wrestling because it seems like that is pretty much all the people that he's bringing in.
Yeah, but I think it's more like a thing like Impact might be pretty shitty name. Even TNA is really shitty name wise, but Global Force is like non-existent. Period. Right. It never got off the ground at all. I mean, out of all the TV networks out there, they couldn't even get a network deal on anything. They could, and their shows were pretty terrible anyway, from what I've seen. So I mean, that's how bad that was.
That's a fair point. More people will recognize the name Impact Wrestling over Global Force Wrestling. Fair point. So it's a unification match between Bobby Lashley and I don't want to say Del Rio, but it's Alberto El Patron. Alberto El Patron. So who's the
weeks ago,
and who's the heel in this match?
It seems like lately El Patron, whatever you want to call it, Del Rio El Patron, whatever. He seems to be coming off as the face, and Lashley seems to be the heel. It seems like that. But just like 2 weeks ago, I guess 2 episodes ago, they had both the guys defend their titles. And one thing I found really interesting about that, not to go too far back on it, but they had the Global Force title main eventing with Del Rio versus Adrian, or not Adrian, but what the hell was his name? Adonis something. Everyone knows him as Chris Masters.
Yeah, the Masters, Chris Masters, yeah.
Chris Adonis or whatever. You know what was really messed up is he still uses the Master Lock as his finisher. And during the match, he screams Master Lock.
No.
I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, that gimmick never really worked, ever.
I know. They tried. It was stupid.
Yeah, they tried.
But I mean, he's good. I mean, he's not saying he's great or anything, but I mean, I found it funny that the company is TNA, or used to be TNA, Impact Wrestling Championship, but it didn't main event your show. The Global Force title did. So that's what I found kind of funny. In the TNA World title match, or Impact World title match, was Bobby Lashley versus Moose, which was a damn good match. I was like, why wasn't this main eventing Impact instead of Del Rio versus Chris Masters?
Right, yeah, fair point. Now, is Cody Rhodes still on Impact?
It seems like he's done with TNA because he's really doing his whole New Japan thing right now. Like, seems more like just that. It seems like lately.
Because he hasn't been on the show that I met for a while. Because wasn't he feuding with Moose last time I checked?
He was. I don't know if they ever did a match, or if they did, I never seen it. So I don't know what was going on with that whole thing, but I know there was something to do with Brandy and all that, but I never.
No, they still wrestle on the show.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with that.
She's still wrestling.
Who?
His wife, Brandy. She still wrestles.
I know she was wrestling. I believe she's wrestling on more of the other independent, non-televised shows now too.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay. So last week we had, what was it, the X Division title, right? Correct?
Yeah, and it main evented Thursday night show, and it had a better rating. They did promote it, not a big rating jump, but it outdrew last week's main event when you had 2 world title matches.
Okay, fair enough. Wow, it's not bad.
327,000 isn't a lot compared to 318,000, but I mean, that's
to make a point. That's a pretty high rating for an Impact that I've seen in a while. Usually,
like last 2 weeks, has been over 300, so that's good for them. Yeah, I mean, it's still nowhere near WWE's worst.
Yeah. Now, what is your thoughts on the whole Josh Matthews, Jeremy Borash feud going on right now?
I mean, I don't know if you've seen
any characters. Fair point.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you've seen any of these clips. Like, they're just they're trying to be funny, but it's stupid. They got clips on YouTube.
Is it kind of like the Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler feud?
I guess, but at least Jerry Lawler was a wrestler, a real wrestler, not some tough enough washout who never made it. So,
right.
I mean, Jerry Lawler was at least a wrestler. I mean, I'll give credit to Josh. I mean, last week he had a swanton bomb on some jobber, so I mean, I was like impressed with that. I was like, holy crap, he did a better swanton than Jeff Hardy's done in years.
Right. So, what is the whole feud about, and what is going on? So, what happens if Borash wins?
I believe
is it equal to
this, but I believe it's like whoever wins can't be the announcer, or they have to leave, or whatever it is, something like that. So it's obvious to me Josh Matthews is gonna win. To me, just because Josh, no offense, JB, Josh is the better announcer than JB, or commentary guy, whatever you want to call it. I mean, Josh is better at it than he is.
My question is why? Because we found out this week that Robert Flores used to be on the Sports Center. Now he's on the MLB Network. Is going to be doing commentary along with Don West, of all people. What happened to what's his face?
Like Tenay?
No, the other guy.
As?
No.
Oh, the Pope. If I say this, okay, this is a warning. If anyone's wanting to know, this is going to be announced next week on Impact. But
Spoiler alert. Okay. Spoiler alert.
Is in a tag match. I can't remember who he's going to face though. Oh yeah, it's going to be Adonis and Eli Drake against Moose and the Pope.
Oh, okay. And so if Pope loses, he's.
I don't know.
Now he's being wrestler now?
That's just going to be a tag match. I don't think that has nothing to do with it. But I mean, that's the whole Josh and JB thing. That whole feud started when Carringer and them came in, and JB hated calling himself the GOAT and the greatest. It's actually pretty entertaining. I mean, you hate Josh. I mean, because he's so annoying. He's doing basically what Michael Cole did in 2011.
Okay.
Saying the most obnoxious thing in the world. I hate him.
So Pope's off commentary.
For now, he hasn't been in. They didn't fly him to India, so he hasn't been there. So yeah.
Oh, okay, so who's been doing commentary with Josh?
JB.
Oh, so have they been bickering back and forth?
It's like a little bit like that, yeah. But they can't. They said the whole thing. They can't touch each other or all that.
Okay, all right, fair point. All right.
I mean, it's pretty bad. Yeah.
Before we wrap up on tonight's show, I just want to let you know this is Get the Tables podcast. We are live every Tuesday night, right after SmackDown Live. We're just adding a new show to the program, seeing that we've got quite a good following with our WWE podcast. We thought we would venture out into TNA or Impact Wrestling for a couple of shows. How this is going to work with these Impact corners is if Dave feels like Impact it's still called, what is it? Impact on Pop? Is that what it's called on Thursday nights? What is it called? If he feels like the Impact on Thursday night is good enough to talk about, or if TNA has something he wants to talk about, we will do a show. But if Dave feels like there's not much to talk about, that he doesn't feel like there's anything to talk about, we won't do a show. This won't be on a weekly basis. This is on a Dave feels like he wants to talk about TNA basis. So follow the channel. Keep in touch. There'll be updates on if we're doing a show tonight, or on Saturday night or not. So just follow us on Twitter.
You know, we'll give you guys updated on what's really going on there if you want to check it out or not.
Right, correct. Like if you want, follow us at Get the Tables podcast. I believe Justin's in the channel. If you could put up the Twitter account if he has a chance. You follow us there. You can follow the Architect. What's up, Architect? You can follow us there. Then you can follow Dave, who does live tweet Impact Wrestling. So you can do that with him as well. So this is going to be not a weekly basis show, but whenever Dave feels like he wants to talk about Impact. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate that. Hey, what's up, Architect?
Show that people want us to do it, we'll do it. I mean, if the views are good, we will probably come back and do it if they're good.
Yeah, I mean, tonight we've had a total of 35 viewers. We're just talking Impact Wrestling, so that's pretty good. We'll probably be back next weekend. Touch on a little bit more on Impact. I know the Slammiversary show is July 2nd. None of us are ordering it, so don't expect us to be doing a Slammiversary review show. But maybe you can expect us to do a Slammiversary preview show. I don't watch Impact, so just dropped in to say hi real quick. See you tomorrow night after. All right, man. Hope to see you there. Remember, do giveaway tomorrow, man. So hope to see you in. I'm glad to see you in there tomorrow. Yeah, just like Architects said, we usually are live Tuesday nights. We usually do talk Raw, SmackDown Live, and any other WWE news going around. Mentioning Money in the Bank, we will be live tomorrow night after Money in the Bank is after the show's over. We will have the 3-man booth. Justin will be back finally after a little bit of a hiatus with his internet. He finally kind of figured out an issue where he can be able to be live tomorrow night and join us. I'm not sure how he will be, if he'll be on the Tuesday night podcasts on a weekly basis, but I'm sure he'll be on when he can. All right, so finishing up on Impact Corner, is there anything that you want to touch on Impact that you really like or really wish Impact would change or do away with?
There's some really, odd stuff right now that I'm not liking. Like the whole Scott Steiner situation, where we didn't talk about. This is mainly a topic we do have to talk about. We talked about it a little bit with Josh stuff, but Scott Steiner coming in and acting like he even did an interview saying like, I get paid to beat people up, and that's what I do. And I was like, are they really using this character basically to rip? I'm not saying he wasn't ever like this, because maybe he was, and that's how he was. It just seems eerily similar to Brock Lesnar. You know, it seems really similar. They're trying to make him like a badass.
Oh yes, Justin, I see you. I see you've been reading the dirt sheets, my friend. I know it's not Impact, but DLC who might debut tomorrow. Yes, sir. The miracle that is Mike Bennett. I think and Maria Kanellis as well.
I heard that would be like for SmackDown next week.
Yeah, well, they said either tomorrow night or SmackDown. So expect the formerly known as the Miracle Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis debuting and joining SmackDown Live, which is a huge pickup.
To be clear, it will not be the Miracle.
Well, of course not. Because the Miracle was a D ripoff of the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and it didn't work.
Miracle was actually around before Bobby Roode, though.
Really? Because it seemed like it was similar.
They were similar, but I'm not trying to get off topic.
There's still a diva missing in the ladder match. Yeah, I saw that.
Before Bobby Roode debuted.
Really? See, I can't. Wow. Then I apologize. Then
I apologize. Then.
If that's the truth, then I apologize for that. Then maybe it wasn't.
So. I'd have to go back and think of when Mike Bennett debuted in TNA as the Miracle.
Right. Yeah, I gotta figure that out.
Thing was later.
So, what are some of the things that you're feeling right now that you are really liking right now in Impact?
Scott Steiner thing I don't like. I said that.
What is stupid? Okay, to touch on the Scott Steiner thing. I believe he was the Miracle in New Japan. You may be right. We miss Bret Hart. Everybody. Well, I mean, not everybody, but we all miss Bret Hart. We all miss the old wrestlers. Trust us. What is it there with Scott Steiner? Because if out of all the people to bring back, Scott Steiner, the guy that he looks bad. Like he doesn't look like he should even be in the ring. To be honest.
Maybe he was the cheapest. And I was reading some stuff that he did an interview with, I think, Busted Open Radio or something this past week. And he said something. They asked him about the Hall of Fame, and he says he doesn't even care about the WWE Hall of Fame. He's in the Michigan Hall of Fame, and he's in some other wrestling Hall of Fame. He says, "Give me an address. Where is the address for the WWE Hall of Fame?" I mean, he made some great points on that interview where he's like, "Show me the WWE Hall of Fame. I want to go there. There is no place." So I'm like, he makes a good point. I
know that there was talks about making a WWE Hall of Wrestling died in the late 90s. I would have to disagree. It may not be as popular as it was in the 90s, but it's definitely
as hidden as it once was either. With because nowadays everyone knows everything. Everyone knows everything's at work, so it's so hard.
Yeah.
There's not so much. Yeah. But getting back to that whole thing, I mean, I give him a little bit of credit for him not. He said he don't even care if he ever goes to the WWE Hall of Fame because. I mean, I give him credit for that because he made some good points on that. But I don't really feel his character in TNA is really. It just seems like a Brock ripoff.
Okay? My question is, I know. It's WWE does acknowledge WCW achievements, but do the Steiner brothers belong in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Yes, I would say yes, they do. They were one of the greatest. They were one of my favorite tag teams growing up. The Steiner brothers were.
I think that's going to be a question that I'm going to ask that on our Tuesday night show because I don't know. I'm up in the air on it, honestly. I think they were great in the ring. Don't get me wrong. They were great in the ring, but did they have the accomplishments?
They won tag titles. I mean, they were WWE tag champs. I know they were WCW tag champs. I mean, they were probably one of my favorite teams to watch. I know that.
Scott Steiner alone by himself is Hall of Fame material, correct?
Oh,
right?
I agree. I don't know if Rick Steiner is by himself, but I would agree with Scott by himself. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, but you even go back to looking at guys like Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. They say they emulate their style after the Steiner brothers.
Mm.
And they even do the Steiner Brothers Bulldog.
I'm curious to hear what the Get the Tables Nation says on Tuesday. So, what are some of the things on before we wrap up the show? What are some of the things on Impact that you don't really care for? Like 2 things you don't like, 2 things you really like. How about that?
I don't really like what you're doing with Scott Steiner. I think it's stupid making him like Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
I guess something else. I still do not like the Grand Champion, whatever the hell it's called.
And what's that championship? Is that the one when they judge?
Yeah, the UFC wannabe title. I hate that. That is so stupid. I'm sorry. I just hate that right there. I just can't stand it. I think it's the stupidest thing in the world.
And who's feuding right now for that title? Is there even a feud going on?
It seems like it's going to be like Drake and Adonis and Moose. That's what it seems like they're doing with them.
Okay. All right. Now, what are some things what about the Outsiders? What about them? Oh, tag team material? I would say I don't know. Best tag team?
Because they weren't really. They never defended the titles half the time.
I don't know about best tag team ever.
I don't even know if they're Hall of Fame worthy as the NWO. Yes, it should be in Hall of Fame. But the Outsiders as a tag team themselves, what did they really do? They didn't really do anything but have Hogan join them, and then they won the titles.
Harlem Heat had several
10-time tag title run.
That is a tag team that I'm surprised that is not in the Hall of Fame.
Agreed.
The Harlem Heat. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I didn't even think that. They didn't get the recognition that they deserve, but they are definitely top 10 tag teams of all time. Harlem Heat.
Yeah, they were. I agree. Yeah, they were good.
I wonder how good they would have done in the WWE.
Yeah,
while they were in their prime. I'm curious to see how good they would have been. Okay, so now things that you really like. Hello, how's it going? Really like with Impact Wrestling.
Okay, I do think that there's a few things that I find interesting right now. Like, I think Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards feud is I really like that feud right now. I think that's a really good feud. Just because I watched the feud in Ring of Honor, and now they're adding their wives to the mix as well. So Alicia Edwards and Angelina Love are going to be added to some kind of tag match, mayhem match.
Tag match, mayhem match at Slammiversary?
Yeah, so a mixed tag Metal of Mayhem or something like that.
Okay.
So that's going to be really... I didn't know his wife wrestled, actually, Eddie Edwards' wife, but okay, I was like, wow. But I do like the rivalry with Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards. I think that's really cool.
Okay.
And for something else, that's something else I like that's going. I guess I'll say the EC3 and James Storm. That's not too bad. I do enjoy the knockout thing they're doing right now. I really touched on that too, but they're doing a knockouts title thing. We're gonna have Sienna take on Rosemary to unify that title. So that's another unification match.
Now, Rosemary, this quick 30-second answer for me. Rosemary, I see that she's kind of popular. Is it because of more of the gimmick, or is she really good in the ring?
She did this gimmick a lot before she became Rosemary. She did it similar gimmick as Courtney Rush. It wasn't as like the K type thing, but it was very similar. So Courtney Rush has always been kind of like this. In which it's ironic that they're teaming them up next week as a tag team, because Courtney Rush and Cherry Bomb, who is Allie in TNA, as someone who can't wrestle, but whatever. Cherry Bomb is actually a really famous women pro wrestler over on the independent scene, where they had a huge rivalry on the independent.
Yeah,
Courtney Rush and
it's a shame those two won't be in the women's tournament.
It's sad that's one of the things I don't like right there. Just a bonus one, I guess, because you take one of the best female wrestlers on the independent circuit and make it where she can't wrestle, and she's an annoying assistant to Maria and someone who doesn't know how to wrestle at all, and yet she's one of the best female wrestlers in the world on the independent circuit.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I've actually been on NXT before, I believe.
Let's see, one more thing. Oh, okay. Name 3 guys. It could be tag teams. It could be women as well, that you think are that will be in the WWE or NXT in the next 5 years?
Wow, I don't know if it WWE. I think if there's anyone left, WWE would have already taken them. I mean, they took it everyone else. Let's see: Aries, AJ, Joe, Bobby Roode.
All right, Justin says
Who else is
Moose.
left?
All right, you say Moose? Okay.
Moose was already in the WWE. Then he left.
Yeah, but you never know. I mean, how many times has that happened?
Yeah, but I'm just saying Moose was there, and I think you're the one who told me Moose decided to take more money to be a bigger star now.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley. Nah.
I would love that. No, I would love that actually because
Bobby Lashley can't. I don't think Bobby Lashley would because of the. He's in MMA, and the Impact Wrestling schedule just works perfectly for him.
But man, that would be a dream match I would love to see right now. Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. That'd be awesome.
Gail Kim would be nice.
Yeah, Gail Kim would be nice. If you want to say females, there's a lot of. I would like to see Cherry Bomb I think Rosemary and Ruby Riott seem like the same character almost a little bit. So I don't know how that would work, but I think Cherry Bomb, I'd like to see her go, or Allie go to NXT or something. I think she'd fit in perfect there.
So okay,
and I think
my question,
like Marty Ball for the tournament.
What about rumors for years Angelina Love in WWE, but never happens? I've never been big on Angelina Love. I've never been a fan of her.
Yeah, I remember that though, because I remember watching that Hell in the. It was I don't know what year. I don't know if you remember the year that John Cena and Randy Orton were at Hell in the Cell match they had, but there was a rumor that year that Angelina Love could show up at that pay-per-view. I mean, there was rumors like crazy like that.
I do not remember that, but I've never been a big fan of hers for some odd reason.
What about Velvet Sky? I mean, no, she's not in TNA no more. Everyone wants.
Velvet Sky would be nice. I mean, I would like to see her in the tournament. Why the hell not?
Yeah, and they already got Thea Trinidad. Been on NXT already, so there's another team, and they already got one of TNA's old knockouts who was actually like a producer or something for WE now. Sarah something, I think it is.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. Where's ODB? I believe she was on Impact a couple of weeks ago, and she's been doing
I think Ring of Honor for a while. She was doing.
And she's been doing independent shows. I mean, she's coming here to my city in San Antonio a couple of weeks, doing an independent show.
Yeah. I mean, you never know with TNA. I mean, or Impact, what's going on there. I mean, half the guys they got there now is basically the land of WWE's misfit toys. I mean, that's half what the roster is right now. You got Del Rio and Bobby Lashley. Hell, Del Rio could end up back in WWE again. You never know.
I don't know, man. He's been saying some crazy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's just.
But my last question for you, before we move on to tomorrow night, where we have a big pay-per-view review tomorrow night, our 1-year anniversary show. Everybody, hope everybody can join us tomorrow night. Does EC3 ever go to the NXT?
He was already there.
No, go back. I mean, you know what I mean. Go back.
Yeah. That would be interesting. I mean, I don't know if he wants to go back personally because he's taken shots over the years at Triple H and at NXT. I mean, I think he has a chip on his. He could. You never know. He could go back, and I could be way off. But he seems like he has a chip on his shoulder about WWE because they let him go, and he went and made himself a big star in TNA over the last few years. I mean, and I think it's because he had a chip on his shoulder. They didn't think I was any good, so he went out and proved it.
Okay, good point. All right.
You never know. Anything's possible.
Yeah, it's WWE's been surprises you sometimes. Who would they get and who would they go after, especially the last couple of years.
Yeah, really shaking on the guys that have come into WWE the last few years.
Yeah, so we thank everybody coming in. This is our first ever episode of Impact Corner, all things Impact Wrestling. We had a total of 62 viewers tonight, so we really do appreciate that. We'll talk more WWE on Tuesday night and also tomorrow night. If you're interested in some more WWE talk, this is more towards our Impact Wrestling fans, which I don't even know if we have any. I just think people are popping in and out just to hear wrestling talk. I mean, even though we did get some Impact Wrestling comments and questions, which was pretty nice. We appreciate that. We're also on YouTube streaming live right now, so hopefully we get some nice viewership on that. But nonetheless, we got a nice viewership on here. Good enough, I think. Who will be back next Saturday night as well. So I hope everybody who joined us tonight can join us tomorrow night for our Money in the Bank review show. Please hit that follow button. The hearts are very much appreciated. It's our 1-year anniversary show. I'll be doing a WWE Loot Crate giveaway. And correct, Justin, correct. And yeah, anything you want to say, just Dave, before we wrap up tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know how people are watching Impact right now, or if you can. I mean, it's not a bad show. If you're looking for something different, I guess you have it. I mean, it's different. I mean, you also have other stuff like ROH and New Japan out there too, but I mean, TNA does seem a little WWE light, but you know what? It's something different, and if you like some of these guys, or check them out, especially Sanjay Dutt. I mean, I think it was really cool how they did that and gave him the main event. So yeah, two former X Division guys from the old days did something better than two XWE guys couldn't do. They raised the ratings.
Yeah, good stuff. So we'll be back live tomorrow night with the Money in the Bank review show, and then we'll be back next Saturday night also with another episode of Impact Corner. And you can catch us Tuesday night as well with Get the Tables podcast. We'll be touching on Raw and SmackDown and everything in between. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Very much appreciated. Total viewership of like 60, almost 65 viewers is pretty awesome, plus whatever replay viewers we get. So appreciate that. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you, everybody.